Well, finally, near the end of our class, I'm glad to have Glenn back. Glenn, of course, is the author of Saving the Bible from Ourselves, Learning to Read and Live the Bible Well. By this time, if you've been honest in your discussions and in the homework assignments, you have pretty much read through this book. And so I thought it might be helpful to hear from the author. We don't usually get to hear from the author himself or herself, and we're really fortunate. So, Glenn, all these folks have read your book and they've heard some of our conversations. Maybe this is kind of your parting shot. What would you like to challenge them on? Not just to, do a good job in my class.
Right.
But
there is that.
There is that. Yeah, at least do the minimal work necessary,
Right.
But let's raise the bar a little higher. How can this make a difference in their spiritual walk, in their life, and in their future?
Yeah. My hope is that people will come to answer those two big questions, which you read about in the book. What is the Bible, and what are we supposed to do with it in a new way? So basically what I want to stop is this practice in the churches of people just looking things up in the Bible and thinking that's really what the Bible is for. It's for looking up what does the Bible say about this topic, jumping in and out, maybe getting a little verse of the day for a devotional, going back out, thinking that will sustain
Boy,
you.
you just destroyed about 1,000 Christian apps.
Yes, I know. And the electronic media, right? They even encourage the spread of this. Social media posting a verse, thinking that's good, right? That's it. And so this paradigm of the Bible, this reference book snacking paradigm, is alive and well in our world today.
I like to say, and I've said in other classes, see if you agree with it, there's actually no such thing as a Bible verse.
Right, exactly. And that's the way we should think of it. Like, these are artificial divisions that we've put on the text way, way after they were written. So, Stephen, what I'd like to think of is, what if the entire church, what if I did research on Bible reading in the church, found that people were widely feasting on the Bible regularly? So their regular ongoing practice was to be reading through some whole book of the Bible. What if people knew how the books came together to tell the story of God? Reconciling the world to himself in Christ. They're reading the whole Bible through the Jesus lens. So that's how they understand the movement of the story toward more and more light, right, through Jesus. And then they're saying, I want to enter into the story of the Bible with my own life and the life of my community. So they're having regular community experiences. People are living the story of the Bible. And then I think the Bible starts to become what God always intended it for being. So right now, the research says that is not happening in the church. What would it look like if the church was fully receiving everything that God intended when he gave us this kind of book, and we were living the story of the Bible in our lives, our families, our communities? What if people could see the difference because we were deeply immersed in the Bible?
Okay, so the two or three among the students that are in pastoral roles, they're already getting excited. They're probably going to contact you. But the 20-year-old who is beginning his or her college career, they sense God's call on their life, though they're still trying to flesh that out and figure that out. They're taking this class predominantly because it's a required class.
Right.
So I'm not foolish, I know that. But tell them how this might, how you say the community doesn't just have to be a pastor purchasing a bunch of these books for his church.
Right. So
how can they do it?
There's organized churches, obviously, and they can have these great experiences. We have everything for a church to do this for everyone in their church, including the kids and the young people. But the nice thing about reading Bibles is these are not expensive to get.
I was going to ask you that.
The Immerse editions.
Yeah.
If you go to immersebible.com,
we'll have
it's
that
with
up.
Tyndale. You can get these inexpensive editions. They're great readers editions.
These are like just a few bucks.
Yep, they are. And you just have a gathering of your friends. Right, a community is anybody that you get together.
So
and you
Starbucks.
just say, we want to read this together.
Starbucks or whatever works.
One group I know just actually reads out loud when they get together, and then they just have a book club type discussion. You can do things online where you're all reading, and then you have a group gathering online and do that if you're not all in the same physical space. So there's lots of ways to do this. I think the big idea is we need to find a way to have regular immersive experiences in the Bible together, because that's the thing that is not happening in the church.
Wow. This has been so great. Well, your final parting shot, you can't really see all of them, but you can see a little green light up there. They've read your book. Any last come home to Jesus comment you want to make to our
Yeah,
students?
I think, well, let me just end with this.
Okay.
I think the reason we've turned the Bible into a book that we cherry pick our favorite verses,
Mhm.
we're trying to make the Bible work for us in our life.
Sure.
None of us is reading the Bible just because we want to have learn about ancient history for its own right. We want the Bible to be important in
We
our
want
lives.
God to speak to us.
Yes, and I think if we will accept the Bible God actually gave us on its own terms, in its own setting, learn the story, then if we're reading the Bible that way, I think the promise we have from God is it will deliver. It will speak to our lives because we are entering its story, not because we're picking out our favorite little parts.
Wow, that's a great challenge, Glenn. Well, Glenn, thank you so much, not just for being with us during these times, but thank you for the labor-intensive journey to actually write this book. I know it was a lot of work. I've been your friend for a number of years. I will comment to those of you in the class, Glenn didn't bring this up, but on the back are two remarkable endorsements. One is from Mark Knoll, who's just a great church historian, but the other, one of the renowned Old Testament theologians that we all read in our seminary days, Dr. Walter Brueggemann, actually gave you a personal endorsement. That
Right.
must have been pretty special.
I was shocked by that and so grateful, right? I'm gracious because I'm unknown as an author. I'm new to this whole Bible publishing field in the sense of a book about the Bible. So the fact that these two gentlemen would endorse and encourage me in this work was just a gift.
Yeah, that's so neat. Well, Glenn, thank you for writing it. Thank you for spending time with us. And I'm sure if some of these students wanted to contact you personally, you're open to answering some questions or dialoguing
Absolutely,
with them.
yeah. My email is just glenn@ifbr.bible. So it's Institute for Bible Reading. So it's ifbr.bible.
I'll make sure you guys have that information. Thanks so much, Glenn. Sure appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephen.